Welcome back. You asked for the full picture, so here it is. The definitive 14-chapter deep dive into the quants, complete with the insights that defined an era. Chapter 1, The Godfather, is where it all begins with Ed Thorpe. He didn't just play blackjack, he solved it. As Thorpe said, "I realized that the game could be beaten." He proved that chance wasn't random if you had the right information. This was the spark. "If you can calculate the edge, you can bet big," became the mantra for the future. Chapter 2, The Terrorism of Math. The old guard hated them. One trader famously yelled, "Take your computers and go back to the lab." But the math was undeniable. Patterson notes, the market was no longer about gut feeling, it was about physics. They were treating stocks like particles in a collider, predicting movements with cold precision. Chapter 3, The Alchemists. Ken Griffin enters the scene. His obsession was efficiency. "We don't speculate," he would say. "We provide liquidity." But in reality, they were extracting value. Citadel grew by eating the lunch of slower traders. The quote here is key. "In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king." And Griffin had a telescope. Chapter 4, The Wolf. Boaz Weinstein at Deutsche Bank. A chess master who saw trades as moves on a board. Every trade is a battle, he believed. He specialized in credit derivatives, betting on the health of companies. His insight? The market misprices risk constantly. He made a fortune exploiting those tiny errors. Chapter 5, The Flying Wing, Jim Simons and Renaissance. This is the pinnacle. Simons hired astronomers and linguists, not economists. "We want people who know how to find signals in noise." Their medallion fund became a black box money machine. As one employee put it, "We solve the market every day." They weren't just trading, they were decoding the universe. Chapter 6, The Truth. Success bred arrogance. They believed they had conquered risk. Volatility is just opportunity in disguise, they thought, but they were forgetting the human element. The models assumed rational markets, but as Patterson writes, models are maps, not the territory. And the territory was about to shift violently under their feet. Chapter 7, The Quake, August 2007, the first tremor. Suddenly, strategies that worked for decades failed instantly. It was a standard deviation event that shouldn't happen in the lifetime of the universe. Goldman's CFO called it a 25 sigma event. That's statistically impossible. It was the moment they realized the models are broken, but they didn't stop. Chapter 8, The Meltdown. The contagion spreads. Liquidity is a coward, goes the old saying. It disappears at the first sign of trouble, and it vanished. Banks started hoarding cash. The leverage that amplified their gains now amplified their losses. As one quant said, "We are all in the same crowded trade and the door is shrinking." Chapter 9, The Fear, 2008. Lehman collapses. The quote here is chilling. "There are no atheists in a foxhole and no ideologues in a financial crisis." Everyone panicked. The correlations went to 1. Everything fell together. The diversification they relied on was an illusion. The math failed because it didn't account for madness. Chapter 10, The Fallout. The dust settles on a ruined landscape. "We were the wizards," one lamented. "Now we are the villains." The public turned against Wall Street. But the damage was done. Trillions lost. The lesson was clear. When genius fails, it fails spectacularly. Yet, the system itself remained. Chapter 11, Survival. Who made it? Those who adapted. Griffin famously kept Citadel alive by banning withdrawals. Survival is the only strategy that matters in the end. They learned a hard truth. The market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. The survivors incorporated this irrationality into new models. Chapter 12, The Recovery. The machines restart. "We fixed the glitch," they claimed, but really they just patched the code. The underlying complexity only grew. The recovery wasn't led by humans, it was led by algorithms buying the dip. The machines don't feel fear, and that was their edge in the recovery. Chapter 13, The New Reality. High-frequency trading takes over. Speed is the new alpha. It wasn't about being smart anymore, it was about being fast. Microseconds mattered. The market became a battlefield of bots fighting bots. Patterson warns, "We have built a machine we cannot fully control." A flash crash was inevitable. Chapter 14, The Warning. The book concludes, "The monster is still here. We are one bad algorithm away from the next crisis." That is the lingering fear. The final lesson, truth is what you can calculate, but wisdom is knowing what you can't. We must never forget the human cost of these equations. That is the extended breakdown of The Quants, a story of genius, hubris, and the thin line between them. Thanks for watching.